This is Charger Chat at the ISC. I'm Nate Ludwig and this is Ryan Haskell, and we're here today with varsity swimmer of the Marysville Getchell Chargers and swim captain Connor DeMarco.
Hello.
Woo! So Connor, when did you start swimming?
So I started swimming in my summer of 7th to 8th grade. And while this was earlier than most people start swimming, I really didn't even want to at the time. I didn't really have any interest in joining the sport, and it just didn't sound that fun. However, my dad swam in high school. And so for years prior, he had been encouraging me to join the swim team and really get out there, because my parents have always encouraged me to be athletic. And I wanted to be out there doing things like basketball, which is in the same season. But after a lot of convincing, he finally got me to join a club team called the Marlins. And in my younger age, I was put in the smaller group with a coach named Meredith Jenks. Now, she's a great lady, and I really enjoyed swimming. I found that I had some talent in the sport, and that I really enjoyed going to practice, swimming, competing. But it wasn't until later on, only a few years, that I joined high school. And so I've been really enjoying it ever since.
Oh. All right, so how does being on the swim team correlate to your academic success? So, like, how does it benefit?
Benefit, I would say you always have to keep your grades in check. I always have to be on top of your classes. And while it's like that at all times anyways, being on a swim team or being especially the captain of a sport really forces you to make sure you're in check, because you're essentially a role model for the rest of your team. And while grades are always first, and our coach always says you're a student athlete, not an athlete student, being on a team and having those regular checks in place really holds you accountable to being a good student.
Oh, okay.
So you mentioned you started swimming at a somewhat young age. How was the transition from 8th to 9th grade going into high school swim? What was that like, going from a club sport to a high school sport?
Well, the club sport when I was in the younger group was, dare I say, easy. But as I went into the older group of the club sport, I really started to hate the sport again. I didn't like it because it was hard. They made us swim laps. But little did I know that that was actually a huge benefit to me. And it really opened me up to the extremity of the sport. And so when I made that transition over to high school from club, it was actually fairly easy. I found that my skill for swimming flowed over nicely into an all-guys team where I could make varsity my freshman year and do well in the sport against other high schoolers.
Oh, okay. So how is being a team captain being different from just being a member of the team?
Well, while I've always felt like a contributing member of the team, being the captain this year so far has been a good experience for me. It's really forced me to open up and be more social with my team. It's forced me to be a better person in a way, because I am that role model for the team. And I do have to take these actions to make sure everyone's following the right rules, and I can't just let other people do what they want. Now, being the captain, I do really enjoy it, but it also has its struggles. Like, I really wish that I could transfer motivation immediately into other people, but that's one of the struggles of being captain. Being a normal member, other people, they might not see that same motivation that you want them to, but that is my job, and that is something that we constantly work on, the other captain and I, to make sure that the rest of the team really has that same fire inside them.
Oh, okay.
What made you want to be the captain of the team in the first place?
Well, I've always enjoyed leadership roles. I've always done things in the past where I have to get involved. And swim team, it's one of my things. It's one of the things people know me for. And while I did start earlier than most people, I felt that I would really enjoy swim captain. So far, I've been really right. It's been a great experience. And being swim captain And that idea sounded great because not only is it that leadership role that I've always enjoyed, but it's also swimming. Two great things for me.
Oh, okay. So, do you enjoy playing any other sports besides swimming?
Well, like I said, I had basketball because I am very tall. I'm 6'4". And so freshman year, I had to make that decision. Basketball or swimming? Could I be decent, probably good at basketball, or could I try something different, maybe something less cool that I could possibly excel in? And so freshman year, I did make that decision after cross country to try swimming because I was still a little bit skeptical. I wasn't sold yet. And I'm happy. I couldn't be happier with that decision. Here I am with a notable swimming career, and with basketball, maybe not as much. And so while I do enjoy basketball, cross country, I'm going to the Jingle Bell Run this weekend down in Seattle. It's a 5K for arthritis. That's something I enjoy doing outside of swimming, but swimming definitely is my favorite.
All right, that's awesome. We'll continue talking about this after this short break.
Why are people always hitting on my shoes, man? Nice shoes.
Those are actually some pretty nice shoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey guys, welcome back to Char Chat. This is Nate and Ryan. I'm here with Connor.
Hello again.
So Connor, as being the team captain, what is the biggest? What's your least and most favorite part about having that role?
My favorite part is definitely being able to go up to the new guys, and I'm talking about the ones that have no swimming experience, and telling them good job, and seeing their face light up a little bit and be like, hey, the team captain just said good job to me, or wishing them good luck on a race. That's definitely a fantastic feeling that I've really liked since the beginning of this season. My least favorite part would definitely have to be dealing with those who don't care. And while I have said that it is my job to show them a way to care, but there is obviously going to be some people that just simply are there to screw around, and that's not really what I stand for. And so it's a challenge. I wouldn't say I hate it, that's definitely not the right word, but showing people who simply don't care isn't the most enjoyable. But compared to the gratification of telling people good job, really getting people fired up, that's a great feeling.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like there's a lot of cool benefits from having that role.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've been enjoying it so far. And other things like teaching people, like with a little swim experience. I remember in seasons prior and this one, I've just been like, hey, want a quick little trick? It might shave off a second on your event. And so there's lots of good benefits to it.
As you've grown up through the years at high school, do you feel like you've been wanting this role all along, or do you think it just kind of you found this interest this year? Tell me about that.
Um, I'd say my interest in being captain started my sophomore year. I knew that I enjoyed being those positions, and I could see after my freshman year that, hey, swimming is going to be what I'm sticking with. This is fun, and I happen to have talent in this. And so I've always had my aim on being captain. I didn't know if it would come. Obviously, I wouldn't be sour about it if someone else was captain this year, but I'm glad that I was able to have this role.
Did you go into the role with different expectations, or is it what you expected it was going to be?
So far, it's been close to what I've expected it to be. I didn't expect it to be this fun. I didn't expect it to have this big of a impact on my personality at the team. I mean, I've always, outside of swimming, I'm the same person that I always was. I don't have a chip on my shoulder or anything, but it's definitely forced me to be more enthusiastic about everything, and I've been really liking it so far. It's a good unexpected effect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you ever think back to like when, like you said, like you wanted to do basketball? Do you ever regret not doing it?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Not being in a sport like that, because swimming is mostly just how athletic are you? What kind of shape are you in? Are you capable of doing this faster? There's really no or while there is coordination involved, it's not as much as something like basketball or soccer or something like that. And so while I do realize that I could be more coordinated, I could have more talent in other things like if I were to do basketball. That's probably the only regret that I have. Other than that, no, I'm full-heartedly enjoying swimming throughout these 4 years, and I couldn't be happier with my decision.
Okay.
Have you noticed how has being a captain benefited your school life? Because are there any things that you learned from being a captain on a team that has maybe helped you in school?
Well, while I haven't applied my captainly duties outside of the swim team, I would say that, like I said, it's opened me up a little bit more, and that's definitely something I would carry on outside of the swim team and into life.
Cool. All right. We're going to have a short break here, but after the break, we're going to go into some of his swimming and racing experiences.
Dude, I hate when Logan keeps trying to close the door on me. It's so annoying.
Why are you guys late for class?
Because Simran is being a bully.
What? No, I wasn't.
Okay, guys, get to work. Pencils and paper.
Hey, dude, you want to see a science experiment? Watch this. It's like,
Dude,
it's like a geyser.
What are you doing?
Hey, dude, you want to see a science experiment? Watch this. It's like,
Dude,
it's like a geyser.
What are you doing?
this anymore. He's so annoying.
Man, I really gotta go to the bathroom now. Let me out.
Hi, welcome back to Charter Chat. This is Nate and Ryan. I'm here with Connor. So, Connor, what was competing like at a young age?
Like I said, I started off on the club team, the Marlins, and I've always had a competitive nature. But swimming was a little bit different. It wasn't that same team environment I was always used to. It was my first individual sport. And while we are still a team and we all wear the same cap or whatever, competing was different in a way that I'd never experienced before. And so when I started competing when I was younger, I didn't like it as much. I kind of missed that team feeling. But later on, I learned that it's actually a really good thing to be able to be in an individual sport and learn to push yourself, not be able to rely on others. And only you are going to be the one who's affecting your outcome of that race. And if you have a bad day, it's going to be on you.
Like you said, it's an individual sport and it's all about self-reliance.
Uh-huh.
You said you used to play basketball. Was that weird to go from a sport in basketball where it's totally a team sport and you have to be on the same page as everyone else around you?
Mm-hmm.
How was that like going from a sport like that into swim where it's totally on yourself?
I'd say there's more pressure, and you get hey, good swim, or hey, good race after your event. But in basketball, you have like a split seconds where you could like zone out and you'd still be fine. Mm-hmm. But swimming, I'm just in the zone. I block out the rest of the world, and I don't pay attention to anything, and it's just me in the lane. And it was a lot different going to swim, and I definitely took some getting used to.
Like you said, at first you didn't really like the sport that much, and sometimes you hated it, and you just didn't like to swim. How, as you've grown up, what do you think has made you like the sport and enjoy it more?
Well, when I did make that transition over to high school, my old coach, Meredith Jenks, like I said, she's great. She was my coach again, and she's even better in high school because everyone's older and everyone's more mature, and she can really just do her thing and be a great coach. And so that's caused me to like it a lot more. But also within the sport itself, as I've gotten older and stronger, I am constantly trying to improve myself. Mm-hmm. And so while I do improve myself, that's also it's also making me enjoy the sport more.
All right. So, well, comparing to like high school and your Marlins team, like which one did you like? Do you enjoy better now? Did you enjoy like when you're younger, I guess, or?
I'd say I enjoy high school more. I still know some people that do both. There's plenty of people who swim year-round, and there's people who like to be on those club teams at the same time as being on the high school teams. But after having experienced the all guys environment of high school and just like the family that we are in high school, it's not the same as the club team. The club team, yes, it's more diverse. There's more people from different areas around the county. But I like high school a lot better. And frankly, I don't think I'll be going back to a club team until I graduate, until I go into college, and I need to find a way to stay in shape and feel good.
So there's okay.
Would you recommend like going on a club team first if someone like would ever do swimming?
Well, it depends on their age. Club team, there's generally a lot of people. There's not as many coaches that are readily available to teach you how to swim. I know that throughout the previous years, we've had foreign exchange students and just individuals who don't know how to swim at all on the high school team. And so while everyone's out running laps, the coaches or the JV coach can stay inside and teach them how to swim. And so while it is a case-per-case basis of would I recommend a high school team or a club team is definitely a hardcore environment that can get you physically fit very quickly and teach you the ropes. But I wouldn't say it's a place for individuals or individuals that aren't as strong of swimmers. The club team is more of an extra option, and while I didn't do it this way, and club team was the first experience I had, it's definitely for people who want to further themselves rather than start off.
So you've been swimming for a long time, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
What has been your least and most favorite stroke over the years?
Well, I've always liked crawl stroke, often known as freestyle, and that's always been a strong stroke for me. But not until my freshman year did I start realizing that, hey, some of these other strokes are pretty great too, and I really started to like butterfly. And I started to, near the end of the season, really practice and try and better myself at butterfly. But unfortunately, the year after, when I started making good times for that event, I was injured, and now I'm actually very limited with which events I can do because of my shoulder and back. And so freestyle has really been my forte. Mm-hmm. I've stuck to freestyle events, and I last year went to state in all freestyle events.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a huge accomplishment. It was nice interviewing you. You have some pretty awesome answers, and this is Mary's Electric Charge Chat, and thank you for being with us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.